Alright, so what it is I decided to take the motor off of it and work on it up higher on the bench. So I think this is going to be a lot nicer. Now I know that there was no spark. I tried a new spark plug and everything, and there's just no spark coming from this. So what I want to do is take off this this pull cord area here and get to this side here and see what's going on inside. So there's like 3 7/16" bolts. There's one there. There's one, like one down here, and let's see, there's one down here. Now, it's just 3s. It's kind of nice. I wish everything was as nice as this. Then I can just pull this off. There's my flywheel and everything. And well, if you can see this, hope you can. I'm just looking and saying that it's very rusty. So what I'm going to end up doing is pulling this off and cleaning the bottom parts where they connect to the flywheel. And then we'll give her a shot from there. I'm also going to clean this flywheel here too. Clean it right up back to no rust anyway. So to take the coil off, I'm going to use a 1/4" wrench. There's only, I think, let's see. There's one there, and there's one there. Hopefully I don't have to pull off this plate. It looks like it's like a rivet anyway. If I take this one off, take coil off, that should slip right off that anyway. But we don't want to mess with this governor yet. Alright, after I took this last bolt here out of this coil here, I can see it's got to be a ground wire. And I'm not sure if you can see it, but you can see how rusted this is. On, well, not really that side there, but the coil is pretty rusted where it needs to be connected to a ground. So let's go ahead and pull this off, and well, let's see what happens. Looks like the whole thing might be coming. So, alright, let's see what we got connected back here. Oh, hold on a second. So I got this one wire connecting right here, so I'm going to have to be kind of careful here. I can't really tell where that goes down to yet. So let's just be careful with what I'm doing. I'll check these wires. That one right there doesn't look too great either, so let's pull them out of the way. And I'll figure out how to get this undone, this wire here, so I can pull this whole thing off so I can clean it properly. Alright, for this governor part, it looks like this should part here, if I just bent it down a little bit, it should be able to slit right through that little slot there. And this one here, you can see it's got an up where they bent it to lock it in. So then there's a little slot in this movement plate here. And so I'll just undo that so I don't have to bother with any of that stuff there. I just need the coil off because, let's see if you can see it. You see how rusty that is? That will prevent any spark at all. That, well, the right hand side you can see is pretty rusty. The left hand side isn't too bad, but we're going to go ahead and clean that all up anyway. Alright, this little, I'm assuming it's like a pulse wire. So it'd be like a positive, I'm assuming. I'm not sure. This one that goes from the coil back behind this little flywheel here, and there's no way that I can take it off without having to resolder it and stuff like that. And this little wire is that ground wire, and it's separate from that one. So let's just go ahead and clean this up without just disconnecting that black wire going across there, because I don't want to tear this motor completely down. I just need it to run. So let's go ahead and clean that up, and I'll be right back with you. Alright, not sure how you guys would clean this stuff, but what I'm going to do is a wire brush on a drill. That's all I'm going to do. And all I'm going to want to do is hit these magnets. I don't want to damage this at all, so I'm kind of trying to set this off to the side. There's a magnet here. See how nasty this is? I'm gonna clean all this anyway, just which is what I do. And there's another magnet here, and that gives that impulse to this coil to spark. So, wire brush, that's all I'm gonna do. I mean, you can do it the old-fashioned way. See, the motor already wants to start. But I know this really part here doesn't need to be done, but I'm going to end up cleaning all this anyway. So let me just get to the other magnet. This one, let's see, where's that one? Okay, so there's just one. But I'm going to go ahead and clean all of this metal anyway, so. Because I want it to all look like that. I don't like doing stuff half. I like to clean it anyway, so, well, you know where I'm going. So I'll be right. Alright, so after I get the magnet and the rest of the outer flywheel cleaned up, I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with the wire, the brush there on these little tips right here. But I'm going to have to be real careful not to damage this wire here because it does look really good. So you don't have to do the rest of this. It's down here is where you really need to happen. Get clean as this. And then these two need to be almost touching for that magnet to ignite the coil and make it do its coil thing. Alright, so I got the coil, well, I want to come little legs cleaned up. There we go. Nice and shiny. But this little ground wire right there comes around the back of this when it goes back on. And you can see how nasty, rusty this piece of the coil is right here. And you can see that it doesn't look like there's any good contact space there. So I'm going to go ahead and take my wire brush, clean this up, and I'm just going to hit this little piece of metal here, this little metal hoop, just a little bit, just to make sure. And then I'm going to throw it back together and see if I can get some spark out of it. And if not, unfortunately, I'm going to have to pull off this flywheel. But so let's just hope that this is just a rust issue on the outer side of this flywheel and not the inside, and we'll go from there. Alright, so I got the motor up here on the side. There was no spark on this at all, so what I had to do is I had to take off the flywheel here. Hang on a second. To do that, there's this piece right here, which is like your recoil, and it's just like these little pieces of metal with ball bearings in it. So what you need to do is you need to take this off, and you can tap this here with a hammer, but you got to be gentle. You could probably like put a piece of wood there, like a small wooden dowel, hit the dowel, and this will turn. You just take this right off. Just like that. And then there's a little washer right inside of there. And then you might need a puller, but you can see mine's pretty free right here because I already had it off. Don't forget it has a key. Do not lose the key. So you take that cover off, and then you got this nice little plate here. You got your condenser and your points inside of here. I don't think I got, what do I got here? That work? Hey, look at that. Let's take that off. Now I did reset it and everything, but I just want to show you what it looks like on the inside of this thing. It's very simple, so don't be like threatened or, oh, I can't do that. No, this is simple. Now, I think I would have got lucky, because you can see how nasty the motor is. This seems to be pretty clean, but it's what's behind it. Is it clean? Is it dirty? Now you can see that. Mine is very clean, almost like these look brand new, because you got to remember this is a 1964. A lot of things in here should be as rusted as this little nut right here, but it's not. Now, right up inside of this little point part right here, you need to get a feeler gauge. And I set mine at 020. And I'm getting spark now. It was set at 010. Okay, so it wasn't getting spark. So all I did is reset this. Loosen this up just a little bit. And just tap, tap, tap. Or tap, tap, tap down until you can get that with a feeler gauge to 20. And then throw it all back together. You don't even have to put your rewind on there. You can just spin it by your hand and you should get spark. Now if you look right up to the top here, you're going to see the plug, and all I'm going to do is just grab this and spin it. You should be able to see a little spark there. So I didn't have to replace anything. I didn't really even clean up anything inside of here. It was just my condenser, where the points are, was set wrong, and I think whoever set it gave up after it didn't work. So now I'm just going to throw everything back on and hopefully get her to start. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I know I need to clean out the carb and stuff like that, so, but what I'm going to do for right now is throw a little juice in there and see if this is going to run. Now, since this motor hasn't run in, well, God knows how long ago, so I'm using mixed gas. Just going to put like a little bit down in there. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Probably not that much. Now to shut these things off, you got to actually push this little metal piece right up against that spark plug. I'm not a big fan of that, so that's why I'm not hooking up the gas tank right now. Because I just want to see if she's gonna throw a little coffee, huh? Wish me luck. Well, that tells me everything I need to know. She's gonna run. Now I just gotta put that gas tank back, clean it up. I'm gonna go through. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna put the gas tank back on, get the throttle back on. Spring came off, and then I don't think I'm going to clean that carburetor unless I absolutely have to. Alright, after we got that going, my gas tank's been sitting in this mixed gas here since, well, a week ago I suppose. So it wasn't a little air breather in there. So I don't know if this little gas tank leaks or not, but we're definitely going to find out. So I'm just going to dump it all out. There's sludge that come out of that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to rinse this off with hot water. Hot as you can get it. I think my water tank's at 125. The hotter you can get it, the quicker it's going to dry out. Because, you know, obviously you don't want... Jesus. You don't want to re-rust your tank. It'll give me a good idea if this tank is leaking. I think the owner said something to me about, yes, it does leak. So it might just be right around the seams or somewhere. Now there's a couple ways you can fix that. You can, they do make this gunk there. It's called Seal All. That works good with fuel. But it's not a hardening substance. So I like using JB Weld. Probably gonna leak right in there. And JB Weld works absolutely fantastic on anything metal or wood for that matter. So let me go get this rinsed out and go from there, see if we can find a leak. And then if there's no leak, we're gonna throw it on and probably put this back on the mower. Alright, so I got my gas tank. It's all cleaned as much as I can for the moment. I think I'm going to have an issue right through here. Right through here. A little bit here. And this side over here looks really good. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to dump water down the side of this because Well, there's no point in getting gas all over the place and wasting it, so let me get my bottle. Now, what we got to try to do is try not to spill any. Now my whole outside of the tank is dry. As much as I can see anyway. I'm not sure if I need more water or not. Just try not to spill any. I'll be right back. Alright, so I just went and got some more water. I'm going to try to fill it up past that line anyway. But don't forget that that hole over there, where the hose goes down through, you can't go above that. It's kind of hard to see. Looks like I'm getting close. Wait a minute. What are you doing, Sadie? You pretty girl. Alright. Sadie had to say hi. Sadie, down. Hey, she actually wants the bottle. She likes to play with these bottles. Am I going to need another? Oh, nope, she's getting close to that top over there. That should be plenty. I can see the water right there. So now all I'm going to do is, I see a drop right here, but I think that was me. I'm just going to leave it, let it sit for about a half an hour. And I'm going to get my headlamp to see if it's going to be leaking, because I don't want to obviously sell this or trade it with a leaking gas tank. It's kind of hard to see. So I'll be back in about half an hour and we'll see if we have to do some patchwork. At the moment it looks nice. I'm not sure about that spot though. Alright, here comes the moment of truth. I'm going to be using my flashlight. It's probably going to mess up you guys. But I'm just going to look around the edges here. See if I can't see anything glistening other than the tin. And I'm going to move it. I see something down there though. Hang on. Hang on. Sorry about that. Come on. There we go. I think we got a problem. That should not be there. Yep, I can still see it dripping over here, so there's not an issue on the top or the sides. Looks like my issue is going to be up underneath of it, which is kind of hard to... Here, maybe I can set my phone up here. Hang on. There we go. Alright, so what I'm going to try to do is not spill from the top. Try to see where it's coming from up on the bottom here. Oh, I just spilled some. Shoot. You know, I could probably take some of that out. Hold on a second. Let me see, get my light. Come on. Can't see it. That's crazy. I know it's leaking. Let me just clean up this here. I don't know, maybe something slid up underneath of it. If you saw something dripping just now, that's me. Coming down the side here. So let me just try to clean all this up. We'll see in a second, see if she's still leaking up underneath, and if it is, I'm going to take out about most of that water so it's not as heavy. Alright, so it's been sitting here again for another half an hour. And that's dry. So I must have somehow overflowed this and it ran down to the side and then up underneath of it. So I'm just gonna dump this water out, run hot water through it. And then we're gonna put the motor back on this, hook it all up, tune it up a little bit, and that's it. Right, Sadie girl? Right, Sadie? Alright, so we got Sadie, you ready for the video? Sweetie, hey, Sadie, you ready? Sadie? Okay, she's ready. Alright, so I've got gas in it. I'm still using the mixed gas because I don't know when this thing was ran last. So I want there's lubrication up on the top of the motor as well. Now, I got it all bolted in. Let's see what happens. Get the little kill switch, which I'm not going to use. I'm going to choke it out. Ready, Sadie? Well, we got a little something. Out there. Push that in. Oh, here we go. Now, I can just tell you already, I see an issue. The throttle. It's not hitting that governor right for some reason. I mean, this is fine. It might be the spring, but I kind of don't think so. It kind of feels like it's right in this part here is stuck. Like that. Oh, sorry you didn't see it. This little piece right here, got a little stucky gunk in it or something. I'm gonna have to clean this carb out. But other than that, I'm just gonna clean this up, make sure the throttle works. Seems like everything's tuned right, so I'm gonna clean it up. Carburetor anyway. Put it up for sale. Or a trade. I like trades. Are you Sadie? Want to say bye? Sadie, won't you bye? Won't you bye, Sadie girl?